Okay, traders, hello, how are you? This is SageFT from the live trading desk, SageFT.com. Make sure you check out our Discord, pumping almost 24 hours a day. People talking about any sort of trading that there is. We've got a great group of community of almost about 700 people. It's time for the review and Rev-UP. Boy, last week was absolutely insane. Let's take a look at what it looked like before the insanity. I've got it all set up here. Okay, on the daily chart, we're sitting at just bumping along all-time highs, And what you see here is, I've also got the NQ, right? We've got this small divergence. This is the 13th, okay? If you look at the cursor on the right-hand side, this is the 13th as well. We've got a divergence where it goes into all-time highs in the NQ and it doesn't do it in the ES. So it's a cyclical rotation into mega cap tech. Okay, so now let's play it forward on the ES and let's think about this. What were we looking for before we do that? Well, we're in this perfect little wedge. All right, so now as we're going through this wedge, what we're looking at is bink, 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 and then eventually remember the narrative of last Sunday, or the narrative in the stream. I'm not sure which when I said it. I do believe it was somewhere back here because that's 5 days. Now the way that you want to think about it is, okay, it's longer. Now the way that we can look at it is on the 4-hour chart where it's really elongated. We can see it starting to form. So we drew the high to high trend lines. Now we had this drawn in here for what if we fail. Okay, what if we fail? All right, so that was the first scenario. And then what if we make it? What if we go up? Okay, blah, blah, blah. New all-time highs, blue sky theory. It's just going to keep going. There's no one that can really predict when it's going to stop, that kind of thing. But we were looking at this high-to-high trend line here and this low-to-low trend line here. Okay, now watch this. Lining up with the low-to-low trend line here. Now watch when they meet. Right here. Touch, back to the upside. Now, we all know what's coming next. A 3% down move. Let's watch how it plays out perfectly. Look, zoop. Once this broke, it was only a matter of whether we test this or not. Our 200 simple and the low-to-low trend line. Folks, we went straight through it. All right, now, perfect. Okay, so if we look at the 15-minute chart, the way that you would look at it is, once you're in position one, you're just looking for the pullbacks. And for it to flip red again, red 200, red 20, downward sloping price, downward sloping 8 EMA below the 20. That's go time. Okay, every time it comes back up to this after it gets through it, it goes down. Now, I want to be very clear. As much as we would love to say that, oh, we caught every single move, down, that's not how these days work, right? Because here's the deal. When you're sitting at all-time highs, every down move, what you're actually thinking is, oh man, is this the one that they're going to buy? Is this the one that they're going to buy? Now, let's bring that thought into next week's plan. Let's dive right into it. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. This is where we're going to see it the clearest. Okay, what I did is on the daily chart, I drew a box around the removal level of this candle pattern, right? So we have the little to no follow through event. We've got a wick down here that went way deep, down into the 5,860s. Massive move down. Now, one thing that all of us were watching, everybody was watching, is how far was it going to rally into? Now there's several ones. I noticed one, okay, and it was the body of this bar, right? We got above the 50% level there. Okay. Now there's another thing that was pretty hidden, but you can still see it. If we take the Fibonacci and we go here, look at this. The 50% line was 6025. We went through the 50% line. Now, it is very, very rare for a very, very large move to retrace 50% and then immediately go right back down. It would be an outlying condition. So let's keep that in mind as we watch next week. What we're watching for, okay, the levels very, very clearly are the low of Friday and the open of this bar here, which is 612675. 50% mark, 602525. 50% mark of this box, of this removal level is, sorry about that, 6030. Now, let's just say there's absolutely no way that this can happen. There's no way this can happen, right? Let's draw it. right? We drew the downside, 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. They couldn't get it. I was also watching this high-to-high trend line across here, right? We had this drawn. So there's this point here. I'm gonna put an arrow there. Okay. We didn't get 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Do we next week into Christmas? It's going to be one of these weird weeks where there's a holiday right in the middle of it, right? And then next week there's a holiday right in the middle of it. After it, that is New Year's, right? So over the next 2 weeks, the market is in limbo until we start back again at January 2025. Yes, there's holiday trading hours for the next 2 weeks. Okay, that you guys can just Google that, right? Let's talk about the pertinent information, right? The thought is there's no possible way, right? So for S&Gs, let's just draw what there's no possible way that can happen. Okay, now that I have it drawn, we take the body of this bar and the low close or open of this move on the little to no follow through. You want to find out more about little to no follow through? YouTube Oliver Velez, little to no follow through. There's a great video on that showing this pattern here. Now, look, if we go 1-to-1 risk reward ratio from right here, okay, it is a massive jump higher, 6,319. Whoa, there's no way it goes there. Okay, we have to get through some serious removal. On the contrary, there's a little bit of a problem. Let me remove a bunch of this because there is too much going on. Let's take a look. Let's draw it again. We're on the daily chart. We can even use the 4-hour chart for this, but let's use the daily chart. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to draw the order block. Look at how the order block held again and again and again and again and again and again. Okay, now watch. Fair value gap. Ready? All right, now, what does it mean? We don't know yet. Look at this little dynamic right here. Ooh. Look at this little dynamic right here. You got the 8 EMA. You've got the above the 50% of this entire move, which, folks, if you go back and look at almost any massive down move, once it gets above that 50% threshold, be careful shorting. Be careful selling to open. That's the only advice that I have for you. Just be careful of it, right? Because it wasn't supposed to do that. So here's the median threshold of the fair value gap. Okay, here's the median threshold of the order block. Those are the levels that we're watching on the top side. We've given the levels on the downside. This is a very, very lovely thing that had to happen, right? We had to draw liquidity somehow. So what did they choose to do? At this time, it looks like they've swept. That's it. Like we don't say, well, they swept it and it's going to go up now. That's not how the market works, right? Because what if we need to retest and do this little trade here where we go to 50% of this wick here? Well, there's no way. All right. So then if you say, listen, here's the deal. If you say there's no way we're going down to this level right here, we're going to that level. All right. That's going to do it, everybody. Right now I am having internet service provider upload packet loss. We are not on YouTube right now because the stream will not hold it. Right now we are on Discord. The link will be in the description down below. We start at 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. There is a holiday. Happy holidays to everybody. I hope your football team on the pitch or on the field is winning. Thanks, everybody.